I was offered the part. I was called by my agent, Stephen Muller, and I had a meeting, which was odd. I hadn't met for a movie in some time, prior to the pink elephant in the room, some legal problems. I got straight offers since I did Answer Born Killers, so I had to meet, because people want to make sure I'm okay, which is kind of a drag since I've never not been okay, in my mind. Obviously, there was a time when people made too much noise like this, and I got angry, but that's okay. That's the way life is. It's life in the big city. Things aren't the way they always should be. Billy came out, and we went in, and Billy told me a story, and it was kind of a funny story. And I said, look, I just got to get this out. I want to play the role. I need to play the role. I don't want to waste your time. I don't want my time wasted. Do you want me to play the role? He said, yeah, I want you to, but I said, okay, but what? Well, I said, but what? Do you want me to urine for you? You want me to do this for you? You want me to do this for you? I'll only jump through so many hoops. And right now, show me the hoops, and I'll jump through them. There's not a hoop I can't jump through. So what are the hoops? I got to know what they are to jump through them, because I want to play the part. I'm right for the role. I've always thought it's important as an actor to know your limitations. I've turned down certain parts that I thought that I couldn't do that might have been good for my career. And this part I thought I could do, I think Frank Miller is a man who's lost his way and who's rationalized in his mind because of being defrocked as an officer, a detective, and sent here to be the head of the guards, that he has rationalized in his mind that the selling of drugs on the yard is good for two reasons. It augments his income, and he gives these guys who are having miserable lives, 6 hours of pleasure. That's the choice I made, because I don't think Frank Miller's a bad person. I think Frank Miller's a guy who got in a bad situation and handled it terribly. It's a horror movie. So how do I get from the real to the horror? Because every actor has the same problem. How do I give the illusion to you, the audience member, that the things you're seeing are happening for the first time? That I don't know what I'm going to say, what they're going to say, what's going to happen, and how it's going to end up. When in point of fact, I know everything that's going to happen. That's every actor's problem. Now, how you do that, is every actor has a different way of doing it, but how do you do it entertainingly too? And so I had to start with the real. And the way I got to the horror was this, that once he had made the decision that this was okay, he unleashed in himself some type of evil that awakened the evil in the prison. And then all of a sudden, it's on. And it's not going to stop until the person that started it is dead. So for me, the movie made total sense to me. So I could, without talking to the writer, which I don't really like talking to the writer because he wrote it, but now when he gives it to me, skip, okay, guy? I'm going to interpret it. If I'm interpreting it way off the box, the writer can come in. Because when you do Anton Chekhov, which I've done on Broadway, he's dead. He doesn't call you up and go, Tusenbach isn't doing that in My Three Sisters. The Three Sisters, he's not doing that in The Seagull. Nina doesn't want to be a seagull, she wants to be an actress. I know that, stupid Anton Chekhov. So I feel that about movie writers too, that the whole art form is a collaborative art form, but you got to give every person in the art form, in the movie, in the making of the movie, the room to be creative. So there are certain writers, and I've worked with a couple of them who are great, but they stagnate the actor's creative process by saying, he's like this, and this is what he means. Russell Crowe ran into a big problem with a guy like that, and somehow didn't win the Oscar, got a nomination for an Oscar. I'm a great director. And Russell finally said, you have to leave me alone or I'm going to quit. You can't give me any more notes on what it means and what are the underpinnings of what I'm saying. You have to let me do it. Okay. Michael Poiret's character in the movie was at the academy with me, police academy. I'm a detective. I got these. No, just come with me. like this. You just make it real. Okay, you know what I mean? It makes it authentic. It makes it fun. Okay, the guy behind the camera's name is Matthew, and he's a great guy, but he doesn't like anything going wrong. Now, I didn't think that was wrong. I thought it was right. That's what I wanted to happen. But Michael Pere's character is a gentleman named Turner, who I've gone through, just for, you know, you folks out there in movie land, it's all pretend. The whole thing's pretend. It's pretend. I'm none of the characters I play. I'm not a bad person. I've never been to war. I'm not dead. Tom Hanks is alive and well. He didn't get killed in Saving Private Ryan. They said cut, and he got it and went home. Anyway, Michael Pere's character made detective. He's a very straight-laced guy, kind of like I think Frank Miller was. I think they were friendly, but never great friends. And when the bad things happened to him, to Frank Miller, which is off screen, you don't see it, but I made it up in my head. Turner is just a reminder of what I used to be, or what I could have been. So if you aspired to be, you know, something that was good and great, at the very least, a good person, and you've turned into this, well, I don't want to say he's a bad person, but someone who's doing bad things, and your dream has been, for all intents and purposes, killed. The person who makes you feel that way becomes the object of your malice. So I have a very, you know, not very nice relationship with him. I don't like him. Right. I don't like him at all. And like I said, once he takes the using the drug as a symbol of evil, once he takes the evil into his system, that's one thing. He's awakened some type of demon in himself. Once he thinks it's okay to give it to other people and make money on it, when in point of fact all he's doing is augmenting misery, he has separated himself from what is good and what is bad. I don't believe it's a good and bad world. I believe it's a gray world, but there is a gradations of gray. There are paler shades of gray. Isn't that cream? There's Eric Clapton, which is kind of cool, and there's you know, Ted Bundy, which isn't cool at all. And people like that have to be. I don't believe in capital punishment, so people like that have to be apprehended. They have to be stopped, and I don't believe in it. I think it's wrong. I don't think civilized society kills itself, kills its own. I don't personally. That's my own. I'm not making a political statement. It's just how I feel. If somebody killed my family, as hard as it would be for me to say this, I would say, please don't kill them. I think it'd be more miserable to sit here for 52 years. Jenny McShane's in a convent. Believe it or not, they have kept us separate because we have. Okay, there's two of those people are very good friends of mine. Danny Trejo I've known for 20 years.
How was it working with Danny again?
It's always the same. Great. He says Danny Trejo started the first Narcotics Anonymous program in Folsom State Prison. I don't know how many years ago. Not Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous. He had to do all this paperwork, and he was a bad guy. And he started the Narcotics Anonymous program in Folsom State Prison that became a wildfire that spread across the world. And he's a hero. He has saved, how many, we don't know, it's hundreds of thousands of lives. And lots of young people's lives. I've gone with him to certain prisons and spoken. I actually had a lot of time where I was clean of all narcotics myself. He's been a source of inspiration. If Danny Trejo can change his life, anybody can. So seeing and working with Danny is always great. He's a serious actor. He's a serious person. At the same time, he is, as you found out, he has a great sense of fun about him. And for someone who's 61, it's just kind of like outrageously cool, you know. He's like a 25-year-old. But he does this thing with me. We'll have a serious talk, and then he'll go, Tom, come here. Holmes. It's important. Come here. And he'll say something to me that's really not important at all, like your zipper's open, your fly's down. And he keeps it loosey-goosey on the set. He's great to work with. And Ja Rule and I are friends, and you know, Ja Rule is just one of those. I have a new word called smooth. It's a combination of like he's in a groove and he's smooth. I call it smooth. And Ja Rule is a kind of walking, talking smooth. I like working on good movies. Number one, because of the pink elephant here, the legal problems, which are coming to a close, I believe. I always selected my movies. In '92, I told Brian Lord, I said, look, I want to work with these directors, and I wrote them down on a piece of paper. I said, and I only want to work with these directors. I don't want to work with anyone else. He said, wow. This is an impressive list. I said, those are the people, I worked with everybody on the list, except for a few. Because directors make movies. They're the final arbiter of what you see on screen. Actors are just one of the many things that go on in a movie. I mean, a movie's a script, the story, crew. I've always considered myself a crew member as an actor. I just happen to walk in front of the camera. But the director's the Svengali. Since I've had some problems, like before Marty Scorsese was Marty Scorsese, the one that everyone knows and thinks is a genius and all that, he was Martin Scorsese. He was that guy. So you never know with a young filmmaker exactly where you're going and who you're working with, right? So I like coming down here to independent movies because most everybody's here because they want to be, because they believe in the project. On big budget movies, you run into a lot of people who are there for the dough. And maybe I should care more about money, but I've never cared about money, ever. I never have any on me. I think at one point I had like $40 million, and I never had any money on me. I never cared about money. I never bargained on fame. I just wanted to be an actor, and I got very fortunate. And then I ran into a big, eruption of misfortune. But I've been gifted with a nascent curiosity and compulsion to be creative. My friend Jason here has been one of my best friends for 11 years. I'm compelled to do this. Whether it's paint, act, sing, whatever it is, I don't care what's going on in my life, I'm going to do it. I don't have a choice. And it just was given to me by God. So as bad as things have gotten at times, I always, yeah, I think it's kind of funny. I don't think it's kind of funny. I find life interesting. I don't find it boring. I'm not bored by life. I'm interested in life. And life's a continuum, It's constantly changing. The one thing you can count on life is change. Life's going to change. And 3 years ago, if you had said to me I'd have gone through the trials and tribulations I've gone through just now, I would have said, you're out of your mind. I'm making $7 million a movie, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I own my own television show with Michael Mann. Are you crazy? I own a Rolls Royce. I have it here. I give it to my brother, but I bought a Rolls Royce once, and I drove it once, and I went, I can't drive this car. It's stupid. I feel like an idiot. So I gave it to my brother Paul, and I went back and I got my Mustang back. I bought a Porsche once, and I said, I can't drive this Porsche. I feel like an asshole. Excuse me, I feel like a jerk. And I gave it to my other brother. I always end up in the same car, a Mustang, a 5-liter. I'm just not a guy, I'm not a car guy. Although I love the house. I love the house.
Quiet, please!
Okay, I can't do the interview anymore. If you're screaming like this, and I'm talking about important shit, I just can't do it.
Well, you've had a stellar career so far, Tom. What's coming up next for you?
What's coming up next? When the lights are blown out, people are screaming and yelling and shit, Next for me is putting back on my real clothes. What's coming up? Ask me again.
Had a stellar career so far. What's coming up next for you?
Well, I've wrapped this evening, and I got to say, I had a great time on The Furnace. And whoever's watching this, you should go see this movie, if for no other reason than the people who worked on it were great people and worked their butts off under extremely difficult circumstances and for 18 days to make a movie that really should have taken 3 months. And when people say why, you should say why not. How? Well, I'll find out. How are you going to do that? I don't know yet. I'll find out. And that's been my attitude towards life. So that's why you should go see it. Not because I'm in it, or you should go see it for those reasons. And it's a very, very good movie. I'm doing a movie called Heat Wave about the last 5 years of Elvis Presley's life. And I'm the star of a movie called Oranges, David Mamet wrote. I'm playing the lead character about the guy who comes back from the Iraqi war who, true story, it was at a checkpoint and a family was trying to leave during the bombing and they didn't stop. And he's saying, stop, stop, stop. You heard the story, right? Stop, stop. And he won't stop. And he ends up having to shoot and he kills the father and mother and the 3 kids. They're all 7 and under. And he can't get over it. And it's a really moving story. I start that in May. And then I'm doing, if everything goes well, with the city attorney, who I love him. He's just a wonderful guy. I'll be doing a movie called Vice, which is the precursor to Kings of New York. I'll be playing the Chris Walken role that Christopher made memorable in Abel Ferrara's The King of New York. And after that, I've been offered the lead opposite Jamie Foxx, the current Oscar holder, winner for Ray, in the Michael Mann produced, Peter Berg directed feature, The Kingdom. And it's a two-hander. It's Jamie and I. Peter, I guess, will be there. No, I'm just kidding, Peter. If I'm in the movie, you'll just be there. I'm just kidding. Michael and I go back a long way. And that takes me to mid-September. And if everything's fair and square, which it should be, it's America.
It sounds like you got a lot of great things.
If everything's fair and square, that's what I'll be doing. I know I'll be doing the first 4.